What's going on, Buzz City, and happy Monday. It is game 3 of our 4-game homestand, looking to take on the reigning champs, the Golden State Warriors, here at Spectrum Center tonight. I'm Erin Pitzenberger, that's Matt Raczynski, and this is the HornetsFanshop.com pregame show. First things first, we have a game day special. Matt, what you got?
Always a game day special. This time, free shipping, no minimum. Quite possibly my favorite game day special of the season. Do we all know why? We all know why, because the code is FSHILLY. FS Chili. That's what you got to use. Free shipping, no minimum. Use FSHILLY and get it shipped to your door right now. Also a good time to really get some gear, kind of stock up for the second half of the season. I know I took a look myself, kind of grabbed me a couple of things, threw it in the shopping cart, made sure that I was ready for the second half of the season. It's a good idea, too, especially as the weather starts getting a little warmer. You need to start changing the wardrobe a little bit. Don't need the sweatshirts and the coats. Need some cool new T-shirts or whatever it might be. Speaking of which, it's actually the first time in a while that we've seen some sunshine around here. So
it's nice. Yeah, right?
This is what it looks like, Charlotte. It's been a week.
I know we didn't have practice yesterday. I didn't have anything going on. I was outside. I caught myself actually spending like 4 or 5 hours outside just enjoying the day, because this whole week has just been crazy treacherous with weather. Don't think that you guys left All-Star with the rain. No, the rain stayed here. The rain stayed right here, but it's nice to actually have some sunshine, have some clear skies. Looking forward to having the Warriors here tonight. But first, let's talk about these last 2 games. Friday, we played the Washington Wizards. It was a great win, 123 to 110 win. We came back from a 12-point deficit, and it was really nice to see, this new starting lineup that actually came out. James Borrego switched the starting lineup on Friday. Miles Bridges got his first career start, and Jeremy Lamb came off the bench. And in my opinion, I think it kind of worked out well.
Yeah, I think that obviously you got to admire Coach for trying something different. You're getting ready for the second half, we call it, really, maybe the last third of the season. You don't have a full half season, but you're trying to find something that's going to spark this team, trying to find something that might change things up, make people adjust to how you're playing. Moving Jeremy Lamb to the second unit and bringing Miles into the starting unit really balances out the scoring a little more. Miles isn't a guy who's going to have plays run for him where it's going to be, hey, we need to get the ball to Miles. Miles is going to fill in that role in that starting unit of a guy who can rebound, can grab extra shots, can steal the basketball, can make some key blocks, do all those other things. He's not going to be counted on to score 14, 15, 16 points in the starting lineup. At the same time, it gives you Jeremy Lamb, who can now come into that second unit and be that spark, be that guy. You watch like a guy like a Lou Williams who comes off the bench and really kind of goes off in those second units. Jeremy's got that capability, had 16 against the Wizards. I'd like to see that kind of continue. We know he struggled the second game.
And not only that, but like you said, it kind of gives that balanced play. In the starting lineup, Nick Batum finished with 20 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists in that game. And he, after the game, I had a chance to talk with him. He loved this new changeup, and it also gave him an opportunity to kind of relish in the role that he's comfortable in.
Yeah, it gives Nick the chance to be more aggressive from an offensive standpoint. You know, so much was relied on for Nick this first half of this season as a defender. Coach has said it in his coach's show a couple times that Nick has been one of the best defenders on this team all season long. Hasn't been contributing very much offensively. When you've got Jeremy Lamb, who is your second leading scorer, it's tough to find Nick the basketball. Jeremy's going to demand the ball as well. With Jeremy in that second unit, it opens up some chances for other folks. Nick's being aggressive. I love the way Nick's playing right now. I hope he keeps it up for this last third of the season.
Last third of the season, no question about that. And obviously our All-Star has been crushing it. On Friday night, he had a double-double, 27 points, 11 assists, I believe.
Yep, 27-11.
Yes. And so that's great to see. He's killing it. He's averaging 25 points right now. It's a career high for him. And it's really good to see that he's, even after All-Star, he's still right back in it and right where he needs to be.
Yeah, he didn't get the same rest that everybody else got, obviously, over the All-Star break. So we were intrigued to see how he was going to come out for this first set of back-to-back games over the course of the weekend, to come out with 27-11, not only continue to do the things that Kemba does, getting to the rack, scoring the basketball, hitting threes, but getting his teammates involved, giving out 11 assists. Those are the types of games. If Kemba goes 27-11 every game going forward, we've got a shot to win pretty much every one of those games if that's what's happening.
Yeah, and Captain Kemba finished with 32 points and 6 assists on Saturday. Unfortunately, that game didn't end the way that we wanted it to. The Brooklyn Nets prevailed 117 to 115. What did you see from that game?
Tough ending.
Yes.
Very, very tough ending. Every fan in attendance, every fan watching at home, everybody, trust me, we all know you were up in arms wanting the whistle to be blown. At the end of the day, the ref made the right call. It was a horrible end to the game. It was a fluke end that Karis LeVert was able to block Kemba Walker's shot with his elbow, and not only block the shot with his elbow, but have the wherewithal to pull his arm in so that it didn't make any further contact with Kemba's hand, arm, whatever it might be, chest. He got away from Kemba. Kemba just couldn't do anything with the ball. The ball was knocked out of his hand by his elbow. So it was a tough loss. The ref did make the right call. It's hard to say that, but he did make the right call. So, but still, the wherewithal for this team to bounce back after being down by 19 in the third quarter against a very tough Brooklyn Nets team.
Yes.
You like to see that from this team. It's almost like we made our run too fast, though, and still gave the Nets a little bit of extra time, almost like if you give a quarterback too much time in a 2-minute drill. And D'Angelo Russell ran it perfectly for the Nets and just got hot at the right time.
Yeah, D'Angelo, he was a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, I agree. I think we came back too fast. But I will say that one thing that really stuck out to me about Saturday's game, the decibel level, I sent out this tweet during the game. The decibel level was at a level that I have never in my life and in my 8 seasons here have heard. I couldn't even talk to Brian Travis, our PR manager, next to me because it was so loud. It was incredible. And even afterwards, you could tell that even though, the calls didn't go the way that the fans would have liked, they still stood there and they did not leave until, the refs started to walk off and the team started to walk off. That actually shows me how passionate this fan base has become and has truly been a really, really great thing to see. And you could definitely tell that this team is getting their energy from the crowd during these times. And so when we came back from those 19 points, the crowd got even bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we really, really, really wanted to get that win. But, regardless of a win or a loss, you could definitely tell that the fans here are locked in and passionate. And that was a really cool thing to see.
Well, and props to the fans of Charlotte because they're, like you said, not only are they passionate, they're smart.
Oh, yeah.
This is a smart fan base. They know that this team isn't out of games. They've watched us play and seen us blow big leads, come back from big leads all season long. It's been the up and down roller coaster of it all. So when they're not leaving, when we're down 19 in the third quarter, that's a credit to your fan base to know that, hey, we still need to be here for this team. We're in the midst of a playoff race. We're in a hunt here. We need to get behind our guys. So anytime something starts happening here at Spectrum Center, the fans pick up on it relatively quickly, and they just get that wave of momentum going, and I love to see it.
Yep, and you guys are looking at 2 people who have witnessed a 7-59 win season. So, of course, we've seen the worst. Yes, and we've seen the best, and so we really appreciate that. Regardless, Kemba Walker has also witnessed it from that time to now, so let's take a look at his highlights from these last 2 games.
Right there, look, just move. I mean, he walked right around Wesley Johnson.
Kemba stops on a dime and leads a quarter.
Foot down, maybe he gets away with it.
No look pass, Kemba finds Cody. He's got 20. Hornets gonna have to fire. Last shot of the half. Kemba! And he hits it. 0.5 remaining, but that will do it. One-on-one. Oh, Cody! Get out! 2 blocks in a row! Kemba! Cody, you earned it! Both ends of the floor. Big game for both sides. Kemba slides past Porter. High off the window, and he's fouled!
Just to sleep quickly with the right hand. You reach, and Walker's going to go by you. Harris had the left side pin down. He just turned the corner, went back door.
2 in a row for Kemba!
Bring the heat and the energy.
Kemba! 3 in a row! 3 haymakers for the captain. 9 behind the line this year.
He's the wrong guy to have in a strong side corner.
Kemba! You can't stop him!
You may have seen his articles, read his tweets, and now we are lucky to be joined by Rod Boone, beat writer for The Athletic. Rod, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, now this is the first time that we've actually had a chance to sit down with you. So for the fans who only have seen, your play-by-play, your tweets, your articles, tell us a little bit about Rod Boone, the person.
Wow. Well, I am a native New Yorker from Long Island. That's where I was born and raised, but my roots are from here in Carolina. My dad's from the Whiteville, Hallsborough area, which is a little bit east of here, near Wilmington. So I've been coming to this state for like my entire life, man. So I love it down here. Love it.
So what is it about the basketball world really that kind of gets you from, as a child growing up here?
My height. Everybody asks, hey, are you playing basketball in college or high school? Like, no, I wasn't that good. I was okay. So I've always enjoyed basketball and sports, and I've always been, I think, a good writer since like elementary school. So those two combined is why I'm here today.
Perfect fit for you.
Perfect fit for me.
So talk to us a little bit about The Athletic. Obviously, we've seen The Athletic grow over the course of the last couple of years. What can fans find, and what is the point of The Athletic when it gives another coverage option?
We're trying to give you unique content you can't find anywhere else. The stories that, are unearthed about, your favorite player, your favorite team, your favorite event, stuff that people can't read anywhere else. We aren't about daily coverage. We're about great stories and telling people's, situations where otherwise maybe they wouldn't get that situation, told the right way. So for us, it's all about just delivering different content, subscription-based. Website you actually pay for our content, but we assure you it's actually something you actually will want to buy. Basically.
We read it. We read it nonstop. So trust me, we'll give you the plug for it. Go out and make sure you guys subscribe to The Athletic. Rod's doing tremendous stuff.
Thank you, sir.
For you said you're from New York, native New Yorker, have some ties to the Carolinas.
Yes.
How did you end up getting this gig with The Athletic, covering the Hornets?
Because I have some friends who basically helped push me toward this gig when it came open. The Athletic wants to cover every team, as you know, in the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball. So being based here, I was here for about 2 years before I got the job. Being here in the environment, knowing the situation, covering the NBA, having friends in the company, knowing executives around the league, agents to help me out here. So I'm just lucky.
Good friends. You got good friends, good
great
people.
friends.
You ended up, yes, you ended up in the right spot, and we'll give you another plug. Guys, go check it out. What is it about this team? This is the first year that you've you've had a chance to cover the Hornets. What have you seen from this team so far, and what makes it exciting for you to cover this team?
Obviously, the main guy is Kemba Walker. Again, New Yorker like myself. He comes down here to a city that needs somebody to kind of embrace, need a superstar to kind of say, this is our guy, this is our city, and he's done that so far. So having him here has been a good thing for this franchise and this organization. Hopefully he stays around after this offseason. We'll see what happens there. But having him is the main engine here to push this team. Then you have a great coach in James Borrego, you know what I mean? You have Mitch Kupchak, you have a GM who's kind of finding his way to make this team the way he wants it. So the Hornets are in a good spot from here on out. Just more about how they finish the season first, of course.
And you also had the opportunity, to be around for All-Star and be around the Charlotte area.
Yes.
What were your thoughts overall of how NBA All-Star was here in Charlotte?
It was crazy, in a good way. The fans loved it. A lot of friends from out of town, they just enjoyed walking uptown here. They talked about how it's easy to go from place to place with your feet, whereas in most downtowns you got to take an Uber or something like that. So the weather could have been better, of course, because we're so spoiled here with clear blue skies and great weather every day. But the atmosphere, the environment, the game itself, slam dunk comments having Miles Bridges in there. It was just a great weekend overall.
Overall for you, one thing I got to say is I've covered this team for a while. Aaron's been here for a while. So we see when new people come in. We're just going to say that. We know when they show up. We know how long they keep coming back. We know how often they keep coming back. You seem like you've really established a good rapport with a lot of guys on this team already. I think that's tremendous credit to you to see some of these guys who've been around for a while that we've worked with to feel that comfortable talking to you. Do you feel as if this is a good team to work with so far?
For sure, man, for sure. I mean, coming from New York, there's more media there, more people trying to get at you and see what you're all about. Here, the guys trust you more. You see me here every day. I cover road games as well, practice, shoot-arounds. That environment just lets them be comfortable with me. And I think talking to them one-on-one about life stuff, family, it's all important too. Basketball is, of course, what we want to know about, but what about how your family's doing? What about what's happening with you and your mom, your kids? That's more important time for these guys, so I want to make sure I know what's happening with them as well in that regard.
Well, Rod's a family man too, so we got to give him a little plug for that. He's getting those kids out here as often as he can, building Hornets fans. So you can tell us silently, I know you guys are supposed to be independent observers, but you're a Hornets fan, right? You like to see this team.
Well, not me per se. I'm objective, but my kids, they love it. They love it, man. They love Kemba. They love the Hornets. They love what the atmosphere is all about. It's a family-friendly environment coming here, man. That's the thing I like most about this arena is when you come here, you can just relax. You know, you can have yourself a nice drink, a nice meal, nice environment. It's just great to be here to actually watch a Hornets home game, in my perspective.
All right, now looking forward, what do you have on tap here coming up for the Athletic?
Oh, good question. Well, the first thing I think is, you know, talking to the Warriors players over the last week or so, All-Star game of tonight, about what Kemba means to this team. If you listen to the All-Star game after I asked, you know, Steph Curry, what about Kemba? He just talked about how it's great for this guy to be embraced by the city the way, you know, he should be, essentially. So we have that on tap. And, you know, this week, obviously, some big games coming up. They play the Rockets coming up on Wednesday. They play the Nets on Friday in Brooklyn, then Portland here on Sunday. So we'll have some content. I don't want to give it all away just yet, but make sure you come to the website.
He's also plugging home games. We like that. Make sure you get tickets. Get out.
Well, speaking of these home games that we have coming up, talk about the importance of this. You know, we're coming right out of All-Star break. We say the second half of the season. Really, it's the final third of the season. You know, we're in the final stretch here. Talk about the importance of this. You know, we're sitting right at that 8th seed. Why are these games of the utmost importance moving forward?
Because let's be honest, the Hornets have not been a great road team so far this year. They've been a really above average home team. So you have to win these home games to be able to put yourself in position that when you go on the road, you have a margin for error. If you lose a game or two, you don't feel like, oh man, I'm out of playoff race. When you win your home games, you give yourself obviously a better chance. But the schedule, man, is not easy for these guys. They're playing a lot of tough teams, West Coast teams that you're in the playoff race with, you know, with the Miami Heat coming here in a couple of weeks. So it's important to win these games because if you don't win these home games, man, your chance to make the playoffs probably are almost nil, honestly.
How valuable is a guy like Tony Parker in this stretch as you're talking about how important these games are?
I mean, think about it. Without him on Saturday in that game against the Nets, they probably are blown out of here, which is crazy. But Tony Parker, I don't think anybody, whether you're an expert or whatever, thought that he'd be this good this soon for this team. Without him, who knows where they would be right now, man? And you don't want to wear him out because you obviously want to make sure he's available for all the key games and playoffs. But at this point, you got to push him as hard as you can because if you can't get to the playoffs, then obviously you're not there. But Tony is such a good player, veteran presence, a calming influence on the court for those guys. They have to have him out there to be able to win these games, for real.
All right, here's your curveball of the day. Wednesday, playing the Rockets. Biz Marquis going to be here.
Oh, man.
You gonna dress up in some classic trying to get out on the main court so you can dance? Come on, just a friend.
I don't think you want to see that, man. You don't want to see that, man. I'll probably try to get out there. Biz, again, Long Island guy, man. Long Island plug once again, Long Island. But Biz, man, yeah, coming down here, Biz, I love that guy. So I'll try to get out there if I can.
We'll at least give you a fanny pack so you can rock it.
That'd be awesome,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, we'll make sure that you have a fanny pack for this.
I love that.
Brad Boone, thank you so much for joining us. You're welcome back anytime. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me. I'll come back next time.
Right.
Perfect. All right, we'll see you Wednesday then?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. We'll be back after this.
Either we win it or there's overtime.
Lamb's going to have to fire. Got it! Kemba bounces into a three. Enough legs to get it through.
Buzz City, it started 30 years ago. You're the best fans then, the best fans now. Let's have a great year.
Well, as we were excited to see Steph Curry leave Charlotte from the All-Star break, he is coming right back here tonight with his All-Star team, the Golden State Warriors, with a 7 o'clock tip. It's a Buzz City night, so we get to celebrate the city of Charlotte, and it's also a 50-50 night, and we have our 50-50 raffle here on the concourse, and you guys can enter to win on this concourse. 50% of these proceeds go to you, and then 50% of the proceeds go to the Charlotte Hornets Foundation to benefit upward mobility. So the story behind this is the 50-50. Charlotte was ranked 50th among 50 large cities in America for upward mobility. So if you were born here in Charlotte and you were born in poverty, the chances of you getting out of poverty are very, very slim. And so the Charlotte Hornets Foundation is really trying to make that change and make sure that, next year we're not 50th. We're hoping, with years to come that we can change those numbers.
Yeah, and I think it's an absolutely amazing thing that the team is doing, that trying to help the city as well. This 50-50, just so folks know, don't ask us how much you could win. We don't know how much you can win because it's up to you, the fans, to decide how much you're going to win. You're going to get 50% of the total pot. So as I was growing up as a kid in Michigan, we had these things at hockey games all over the place. The Detroit Red Wings were tremendous at them, and these pots would get up to be $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000.
Wow.
Max. I mean, even more than that.
That's
so
awesome.
Who knows what could happen tonight? Make sure you guys come out, bring that wallet, bring a couple extra dollars in cash, make sure you grab a ticket or two, and give yourself a chance to walk out of here a very, very happy person for an absolutely amazing cause.
I know, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, so would I. Hopefully it's
great.
not too big. What is it got to be, over $5,000 to get a tax write-off, or when they start taking taxes out? So maybe they want to keep it down.
I don't know, yeah.
$4,999.
We'll check the pot, and then maybe we'll close it once we get to that tax return spot. But obviously we have an all-star cast tonight. Kemba Walker.
You said an all-star team. I thought that was tremendous.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they are.
Right, an all-star team, an all-star cast. But I kind of wanted to throw Kemba Walker in there too, because we got Kemba Walker, you got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant. You have all of these guys, and you know what? They're angry tonight.
Yeah.
The Warriors are angry, coming off a loss against the Rockets. It's not really something that we are looking forward to seeing from them.
Yeah, if we were going to outline this and say this is how we want things to go, step one is not have the Warriors lose to the Rockets on the Warriors' home court before they come to Charlotte.
Right.
That would be ideal for that to have not have happened.
And the Rockets were missing a big piece too.
Yeah, without James Harden.
Yes.
So that's insane. They actually put it on them. They had a few guys score over 25 points. It was great team ball led by Chris Paul with the Rockets to get that victory. But like you said, they're going to come in hungry. They're going to come in wanting to win here. Last year, the road team won both games. So Hornets are looking to flip the script a little bit here. Maybe we're going to be a little bit more hungry after the way the last game ended for us.
We're angry too.
This team's angry as well. They wanted that victory last game out, looking to get another one here at home. Got to pick up these home wins as often as we can. I don't care who the opponent is. You got to go in thinking we can beat this team. We can beat this Warriors team if we get a good run going. But let's start fast. I don't want to be down by 11 or 14 the way we've been in the last two games in the first quarter. You've got to stick with this team. If you let this Warriors team put it on you, you're not going to be able to come back the way we've been able to come back against some other teams.
All right, now talk about this all-star matchup, these point guards. You got Steph Curry and Kemba Walker, who they were actually teammates 2 weeks ago in the all-star game. They had a chance to play alongside each other. What can we expect from these two guys going head-to-head?
A lot of scoring. This could get out of control because both of these guys are not only able to put up 40, 50 points on any given night, they're able to put together streaks in quarters by themselves where they might score 18 of 20 points. Both of them could do this. And when you're playing against a guy like that, I feel like it only fuels your fire a little bit more if Steph starts seeing Kemba do it, he's going to want to do it. If Steph's doing it, Kemba's going to want to step up. So it's going to be an extremely entertaining game for our fans tonight. No question to see two of the best players in the NBA going head-to-head.
Not only that, in 2 days, we have another game, our final game of this 4-game homestand. Yep. It seems like we've been going nonstop since All-Star, and so this is actually an opportunity for us to kind of, say, okay, let's put an exclamation mark on this 4-game homestand, and let's come out with a win against the Houston Rockets on Wednesday. But it's not only the matchup that's exciting, but we have a handful of things going on. We have a giveaway, a fanny pack giveaway. The first 7,500 fans get a chance to get this teal throwback fanny pack. I know
they're pretty sweet.
They are really sweet. Actually, it took some convincing from Matt. But
she's made me a believer. I think that they're actually pretty cool, and my kids all want them. So once the kids say they want them, that gives the seal of approval.
It's the new
take
trend.
it.
People are looking forward to that. They're also looking forward to dressing up in 90s gear and also excited about Bismarck.
Yes.
Looking forward to him. Looking forward to seeing him. I know he's excited. I know he sent out a tweet and a nice little video selfie saying how excited he is. I think Rod Boone will end up catching him at halftime dancing to it. Well, who knows? Who knows who we'll see on the court? But looking forward to seeing him at halftime. You guys, make sure you get your tickets because they are going fast.
Yep.
Tickets are still available for tonight, but they're limited. Extremely limited. And same thing goes for Wednesday. It's going to be a classic night. You're going to have that hardwood, the classic court out there, and so you know we got a lot of stuff going on. There's only going to be 2 more classic nights left after Wednesday, and so you guys make sure that if you haven't been to one of these classic nights, you only have 3 more chances.
Yeah, and they're some of the coolest nights that we've had all season long. Actually, some of the coolest nights I think we've had in my 14 years here with the Hornets. Just having that classic court, playing in those uniforms, having the music playing from old school music, just the whole vibe behind it. The organization has done a really tremendous job replicating what it used to be like back in 1988 and such like that. So make sure you guys get out here for it. Like you said, there's only 3 left, and they're one of the coolest things to watch.
Only 3 left, and also I really think that this season being like the Hornets' 30th season, it's actually brought back a lot of the guys who we may not have been as close with in recent years, but Glenn Rice, Muggsy Bogues, like they're around, dude. Like they're around like all the time. Like we call like Glenn Rice the mayor of NBA All-Star. Like now, like you know, I think they come back and they see the 30th season and they see the organization really honoring what happened in the past, and you know they're like, hey, it feels good to be a part of this again.
I think it's funny because when we talk to like Kemba Walker, when he has those magical moments, and you ask him, are you able to kind of sit back and reflect about what you're doing? And oftentimes the answer is no. I think a lot of times for these guys on this 30th anniversary team that we've seen come back over and over, I think their time here was really special to them. They'll all say that. But I think all of them are starting to realize with how the organization has honored them, really brought forth how important those years were. It's really come out of those guys how much they start to realize this is now their time to sit back and go, wow, those years were pretty amazing in Charlotte. And I really love the fact how much I meant to the people of this city, because every one of those players meant something to someone in this city, whether it was Muggsy Bogues, Alonzo Mourning, Glenn Rice, whoever it might be. They're the reason a lot of people here are Charlotte basketball fans.
Oh, no question about that. I'm getting like chills and goosebumps just talking about it. Every time we have a classic night, I always get really excited about these. So this is exactly why you do not want to miss these games. Our next game is going to be March 8th when we take on the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards. And then the next one is March 23rd when we take on the Boston Celtics. So those 2 games are the only classic games left after Wednesday. Make sure you get your tickets. But first, we got to get a win tonight against the Warriors. 7 o'clock tip. If you cannot be here at Spectrum Center, make sure to tune in on Fox Sports Southeast or listen on WFNZ. For Matt Rodchinsky, I'm Erin Pitzenberger. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.